Hey guys, welcome back to Likewise Pod. This is Sam, and I'm being a little sneaky, and I'm recording this minisode. I'll call it a minisode. And Issa doesn't know I'm recording this right now, lol. But I kind of have just been craving having real talk and I don't know, just talking about life and how I've been feeling and post-grad things, and I feel like I just need to sit down and record. I kind of wanted to do this in a YouTube video for my channel, but I think just for now, just with the fact that I haven't done videos in so long, I think where I feel most comfortable is talking on Likewise, and I think it's cool, and it kind of relates to why Issa and I haven't really been able to record together because life gets in the way, and we each kind of are on our own little journeys right now, and it just gets really hard to coordinate our lives sometimes, and I think that's okay, and it's just real to kind of just be honest about that with everybody. It's really not easy for us to continue. We love Likewise, and wow, I said that so scary. It's still happening. We love Likewise. We're not leaving it, but I think we're at a point where we at least feel good saying we know we're not consistent, and that's okay. And I think I just kind of want to talk about that because it's tough, and I think her and I both struggle with feeling like we're flopping or being a disappointment because we're not putting out this content every week, and we both really thought that we were ready to have 2 podcasts, and I think going into it we both knew that we would probably have this dynamic of not recording because we can't get our schedules right, and we really want to, and then also having that perfectionism creeping in of if it's not going to be good, we're not going to record it. And so we definitely have been learning a lot and I think it's one, it's a lesson in time management, and also we know we're under delivering, and it's always better to under-promise and over-deliver than over-promise and under-deliver. And unfortunately, we have been over-promising and under-delivering. But I think it's also good to break out of that mindset and say, hey, at least we're trying. And we are just kind of diving in head first. As much as we did plan out launching that second podcast, we also did get a little rushed because we felt so much pressure of what's currently there in sports and all the current sports events that started happening. We were in a lot of intense playoffs with March Madness starting up, and so we felt there was no better time than right then to just send it, and we knew we couldn't sit on it any longer. But now we're feeling the intense effects of that, where life just gets so crazy, and that's very normal. And I think that's just part of our content growing with us as people, and the fact that we are continuing this, but we are also so connected to our everyday lives. And for me, that is a full-time job, and being 2 hours ahead in a different time zone than her. And so I think that is where it gets really hard, and her and I have just completely opposite schedules. We've talked about it in the most recent episodes, but there's just random things I wanted to talk about, and it's not really planned to talk about it in any upcoming Likewise content, so I figured I would just record a little mini-sode because I want to get close and personal, and I do want to speak these words out into the online universe, but just I think this is where I feel best doing it, and not on YouTube right now, because I just I wanted to vlog yesterday so bad, a get ready with me and chit chat and talk about these things, but I then once I got to getting ready, I was I want to just get ready and watch vlogs. I don't want to make a vlog, I want to watch a vlog while I get ready right now. And so yeah, I just figured I would bite the bullet, record this little mini-sode, say the things I want to say, and hopefully someone takes something away from it. And maybe if you're upset that we haven't posted in forever, maybe you can forgive us a little bit. Which I know nobody out there is probably like holding us accountable like that. But still, I think like sometimes it's nice to hear a little bit of like what's going on behind the scenes. The way I'm saying this is so dramatic, but it's just nice to, I don't know, hear from the source and know like that things are okay and we are just taking life as it comes and still trying to pursue making content, but that we know it's not gonna come forced or like it's not gonna come when it's not the right time. And unfortunately, we thought we were in the sphere where it's the right time and it just hasn't been. So yeah, I don't know. Mainly, there's one huge thing I've been wanting to talk about. I screenshotted this page of a book from TikTok and I've been going back and reading it just about every day while I've been at work, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I just can't stop thinking about it. It's sitting with me so much. And I think it might be a poetry book. I should look this up and fact check it, but maybe, I'll do that later. It's from The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weist, and it's just so good. I should look that up and like fully give you the details on if it's a poetry book or not. But this is just like so accurate, and I've never really seen somebody completely explain how I've been feeling lately besides this. Here we go. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. It doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. You are going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. Instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Emphasis right there. Remaining attached to your old life is the first and final act of self-sabotage, and releasing it is what we must prepare for to truly be willing to see real change. And I think... Sorry, that's the end of that. Oh my gosh, every time I read it, something else sticks out to me. And I just love that line. I know it's meant to be like the most emphasized line in the whole thing, that all you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. And that is everything I've been needing to hear for months, because if you don't know, I quit my first post-grad job to move back to Nebraska and work for the company that I interned for 2 years ago. And it was really, really hard because so many people knew how badly I wanted the job that I had. And in doing that job, I gave up other paths of life, I guess, that I could have taken right away post-grad. But it didn't feel like I was really sacrificing that much because I wanted it so bad. And I knew so many people were proud of me. They were watching what I was doing. Still felt like they were invested in my life, especially the people who were younger than me and still at college, like friends who hadn't graduated yet. Because since I was still like heavily involved in our sorority, I still felt connected to them. And then when I decided to leave that job, not only did I feel like I was losing that new life, like I was losing all the people that I met in that job and my friends, my coworkers, everything. I was like, I'm going to lose those connections. That was what I thought. Obviously, it's not true. Like, I still have these people in my life and I can still talk to them and I can still be friends with everybody. But, I had this thing of like, I'm going to lose this whole life that I worked so hard to get just so I can revert to an old one. And that's not the truth. And I think that's kind of like a guilty conscience type of thought. But it's a feeling I was so trapped in, and I know so many people feel that way when they're in similar situations. Like, I think it's what holds a lot of people back from quitting their job when they want to. And I've just learned through like the amazing growth I've had since then that just wasn't true. And so I think like if you find yourself in a similar spot to that, don't be afraid that you're maybe making a mistake or you're gonna cause people to leave your life and things, because at the end of the day, what's meant for you is on the other side, and you're gonna find yourself still going towards it, even though it may take a long time. And I think it's just like, it's an overall bigger thing with post-grad in general. I'm so guilty of this, which I don't want to say guilty because it's not really a bad thing. And I think I put all the pressure on myself and feel like things are my fault. But ever since I graduated, like, I know I haven't talked to people. Like, I know I just went completely MIA. I fell off the face of the earth. I didn't keep up with people. And for me, I think it's because in a lot of my friendships, it's almost like those, like, quote unquote, low maintenance friends. You know, that's how me and all my friends are. All my friends from high school, we were all very low maintenance because we all went and lived very different lives for college. But anytime we were back home, it was still so fun to hang out. And it still is. And I think it's like just symbols of like, it's very okay to be different people than the people in your life. And like, it's okay to continue to grow and become different people, because you're not necessarily always losing them. And that's kind of just like a big lesson I've had to learn, because I just always feel so bad that I have not talked with people from college since we graduated. Or like, I do talk with people, obviously, but not like a lot of the people that I talk to really frequently and people that I really do care about. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my little on Snapchat a little bit, like one of my littles from my sorority, and she like asked me how Nebraska was, and I was like, how's the end of school and whatnot, and we were talking a little bit, very, very short, but you know, I like told her, I was like, I feel so bad, like I literally just fell off the face of the earth. I have not talked to anyone. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna probably be that way too. And it's just the reality. Like, it's not gonna be permanent, but I think everybody has to reach that realization of, oh, wow, there really is only so many hours in a day. And when we're all on these life journeys to work these jobs, live these new lives, move, all these things, we can't always keep these connections super strong. And so I think we have to let go of the whole, like, if they wanted to, they would standard for friendships, because early 20s is such a chaotic time that you can't put that extreme of expectations on everybody in your life, because you're in that equation too, is really what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm kind of rambling, but I hope that it's making sense, and I hope that this is maybe like hitting the sweet spot for some people. Maybe it's what people need to hear. I know it's what, I mean, I need to hear it, even though I'm the one saying it. Like, I'm kind of taking my own advice right now, and like, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's great. Like, you should believe that. And I think it's just something to come to terms with. In like your first couple years post-grad, I know I'm only 1 year, which that's the other thing about this. Like, the last couple weeks have been insane. Like, I don't want to say realization weeks, but I've been getting Snapchat memories. I've been like looking at concerts for this summer and realizing how far away I am from memories I thought were so recent. And that's what's weird. Like, this whole year, being the first year out of school, was so fast. And I remember thinking it was going to be so slow. And it's both a good thing and a bad thing. I think where I feel like it's a bad thing is where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible friend. I haven't talked to this person in forever. I have no idea what they're doing besides the highlight reel I see on their social media. But then the good thing is like, wow, I've done so many awesome things. I've been able to work and explore and make new relationships. Like, and build such strong connections with people who are such new friends in my life. So there's like two sides of it for me. And the other day I was showering, and I'm one of those people who has so many good thoughts in the shower. I either have way too many thoughts because I'm showering in silence, or I'm listening to a podcast or audiobook, and that distracts me from having a lot of thoughts in the shower. But I was showering and I was thinking about how I've always been someone who says that, like, I never burn bridges. I don't like burning bridges, whatever. So, like, with, like, jobs and things, like, I like keeping a standard of being really professional. And I've never been in a situation where I've, like, needed to not be, I guess. And I think there are times where it's okay. Like, it is okay to burn bridges, and that's a situational thing. But for me, like, as much as I can prevent it, I don't want to burn a bridge. And I was thinking about that whole concept, and I was like, wow, yeah, Sam, you don't want to burn bridges, but you also can't sit around and not upkeep the construction of the bridge and let it crumble. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like it's so easy to go wrong in relationships and friendships in this, like, chaotic time where everybody has these separate lives, because we have this thing where it's like, well, they're not reaching out to me, I'm not reaching out to them. Maybe we both just are happy and living our lives and don't want to do this. But you also have to, like, I don't know, think about where your perspective is coming from. Maybe they're feeling the exact same way. Like, we're both not waiting around for each other. And I keep phrasing things so weird. Like, I don't know how to continue my sentence, but that's, like, the weird thing of recording by myself. But I think that you kind of just, like, instead of, like, an if they wanted to, they would, think, like, if you can, you should, or, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing to upkeep this relationship? And I think it's okay if you haven't been doing anything, because I think a lot of people don't really think about how complex relationships are once you're in your adult life, and also how little time there is in a day, in a week, in a month. Because it's been 5 months since I moved back to Nebraska, and I feel like it's been way shorter than that, but at the same time, that time does feel pretty accurate, but it does just make me feel horrible for the amount of people that I have, like, been MIA from, like, the people I haven't really talked to. And I also haven't posted very much, like, on social media, so I feel like I'm also not, like, giving anybody any, like, insight into my life, and I'm not, like, letting people in that way, which is fine. But I think, like, I'm realizing, wow, I really want to do a better job of, like, upkeeping these relationships. And it gets hard for me because I am working on keeping up with all my, like, newest, most recent friendships. I have amazing coworkers. I love them. I hang out with them outside of work. We talk all the time. We're great friends. And I love that because it makes work so fun. It makes outside of work so fun. But sometimes I get so caught up in, like, being in the moment with everybody that I only want to go hang out with them and talk with them. And now I'm also, like, I'm about to have my boyfriend move in with me and all this stuff. And so I'm trying to prioritize time for the people surrounding me. But then I realize in the process I'm not prioritizing enough time for the people that are back home. Like, all my friends that are back home, my family even, just people that I should also be prioritizing talking to enough. And I feel a little bad, but I'm telling myself don't feel bad because I shouldn't. Like, I don't know if I shouldn't. I think I should feel bad, but it shouldn't get me down too much. Like, I can feel bad because I know people might want more in our friendship, but they will understand. And I can always, like, change those behaviors now, because I don't think any of it is bad. I'm not purposefully ignoring anybody. And I'm never ignoring people. I'm talking to people all the time. But I don't know. That's just a little bit of the thought process that's been rolling around in my brain a little bit recently, and I kind of wanted to share because, one, it's kind of like therapy a little bit to talk through feelings and talk about things that I know are relatable on the pod, but I feel like I could also help somebody else feel validated by talking about these feelings. And yeah, so I don't know, long story short, that's a little bit about what's been in my head and how I've been feeling. And I thought it'd be nice to talk about on here because people might be wondering, like, where are they? Why isn't there an episode? And honestly, the reality is that just life gets in the way. It really does. And our schedules are so bad. I'm entering a really busy season of work. And I know, like, Issa's had so many events going on and things in her life too, and I can't expect her to be free when I'm free, and the other way around too. Like, we both can't just expect that the other person should be available whenever we are. And, you know, we're working through that, and we're gonna have such amazing content. Like, we've been planning so much stuff, and we're really excited for it. And I think that's what's hard, is that we really want it so bad. And we've just been having to face some challenges. And I think what's nice is that the podcast has never been easy for us logistically. I think that's where we kind of have that grit, where we've never just given up and stopped, because it's never been easy logistically. We started 3 years ago during COVID. We're literally almost at our 3-year podcast anniversary. And that's so weird to say. Oh my gosh, that has not completely clicked in my head. But we started when we hadn't seen each other. Like, we didn't ever record a full episode, like, and actually post until we were already shut down in quarantine, recording over like FaceTime and Zoom and all of this stuff. And that was awesome, partially because we had a lot of extra time to devote to the podcast, but it was also so hard because we felt so distant from each other's lives. And like, recording was always weird because I think a lot of podcasts, people are always recording together, and we were always not together until, obviously, there's a handful of episodes that we recorded in person together, but there's more where we weren't. And so I think that's a nice reminder that, like, we do have this resilience and we do have this grit, and it's never come easy logistically. But we are in a little rough patch where the logistics just feel extra hard, and there is almost this pressure of, man, we keep overpromising and underdelivering, and I think we just have to, like, be like, okay, but it's okay, we're trying, and it's gonna continue, and it's gonna be great, and hopefully we get to visit each other soon. I did go home recently, but it was a short just week, and I don't actually live close to her. And I had so many things planned for when I was home because it was my mom's spring break, my dad's birthday. I was going to sporting events. I had appointments. I had to pack a bunch of stuff. I was going to mainly get a lot of clothes back here with me. So I had to, like, organize, donate things, pack. And I really just wanted to spend a lot of time with my family. And I'm so glad I got to. I got to see a lot of my family. It was so nice. And at the same time, I ended up not seeing any friends until the day before I left. I got to see 2 friends. And that was kind of like a huge reality thing of, like, wow, this is what life is going to be like. Like, me and all my friends each all have our own lives, our own jobs. It's not like college anymore where, oh, we're all home. We know we're all free because we all don't have class, and we're all not working right now and all this stuff. And it's kind of like, yeah, I took a whole week off to go home, but, like, all my friends still had work, and I didn't expect anybody to not work. And I honestly didn't even tell a lot of people I was going home because I wanted to just, like, be at peace. And so I think it was weird. And it was honestly when I saw Gemma that I kind of was thinking about even more of these things. Like, I went and hung out and we talked so much about life and how weird being adults is and how it's feeling and what we're doing. And, you know, Gemma's did move to LA. And I was like, wow, like, I'm so proud because this is like a long time dream, but it's also so weird. Like, we're both in a very similar place where we're like kind of girl bossing, being in our careers and things we've always dreamed of and everything. But it's interesting, like, how far apart we are at the same time. I mean, distance-wise, and then also, like, just availability. Like, we haven't been able to, like, I think that's what's also nice about that relationship. Like, we don't talk often, but we keep up with each other. We make an effort to see each other when we can and interact when we can, but we don't put so much pressure on talking all the time. And it's really nice because it keeps our, like, bond so strong that we've had since we were 3 years old. But that was just such a nice visit to have, to be able to talk for a couple hours about the move to LA, about my move to Nebraska, about where we're going in life, about the complexities of relationships in adulthood. Like, we covered so much ground there, and I think it's awesome, and it kind of made me want to have more of those conversations with everybody, and, like, also myself, which, like, I kind of see this as a conversation with myself right now because I'm just rambling to a microphone in front of my computer in my living room on my new couch, and it just, like, I don't know, it feels right, and it feels like healthy to be having these emotions and feelings and realizations. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've talked for 27 minutes. Maybe I should stop. I did say it was going to be a mini-sode. But yeah, I think that kind of, like, sums up how I've been feeling, some things I've wanted to talk about. Another thing that I want to talk about soon is, surprise, surprise, relationships. I kind of wanted to do, like, a relationship episode where maybe with my boyfriend and talk about, like, kind of our perspective and, like, our experience with our relationship being long distance, breaking that distance, now not being long distance, and then kind of, like, approaching a new experience of we're going to be living together, and kind of our goals and where we see things going. Not to, like, be too personal or overshare, but I think it could be cool to explore, like, our perspective of the experience of long distance relationships, because it's tough and we got through that part, but there's a lot of things about it communication wise that I think had been so healthy, and I think honestly we could offer some great advice, but also be very relatable and share, like, wow, we didn't expect to need to have these conversations, or, like, we didn't expect that this would be a challenge, but since we, like, never got to, like, spend this much personal time together, like, we just never knew. And so I think that could be a cool episode. And yeah, this is so weird recording this by myself. It feels wrong. I just wanted to, like, do it to get some of my feels out, and I just really want to get some content out, even though Issa and I haven't been able to record together. And I was like, you know what, I'm free right now. I was just gonna sit on TikTok for the next hour maybe, so might as well utilize this 30 minutes to talk with myself and put it out there for the world to listen to. So yeah, hopefully there will be a new episode super soon, and until then, you can catch up on some of our most recent ones. I loved our co-host interviews this time around. Maybe don't listen to the old ones. Like, you totally could if you want, but they're kind of cringe and just old and not as good as the new ones. So yeah, listen to those if you want more info on what's been going on in our lives and how different they are now from a year ago. And keep up with our socials. But I'm so thankful if you've listened this far. And as always, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so more people can find us. And follow the podcast on whatever streaming platform you use. I love Spotify, personally. And make sure you're listening as soon as an episode comes out. And I just hope everybody has a great rest of their morning, day, or night whenever you are listening.